Download the free Book Lovers Trail Te Arakai Puka Puka audio app and start your literary journey along State Highway 2, from Wellington through the Wairarapa and into the Hawke's Bay, one bookshop at a time. Download the app now from the Apple Store, Google Play Store or the web app. More info at www.booktown.org.nz.
Ngā mihi kia koutou katoa, nau mahara mai ki te writers from the West Coast kaupapa, ko Anika Moa tōku ingoa, Ngāpuhi te Aupōuri o ku iwi. I'm from Christchurch, born in Auckland, but I'm actually from the North Island, North, Pawarenga, and I'm a writer, and I'm going to be interviewing these beautiful wāhine. We have Becky Manawatu from Ngaitahu. Give her a round of applause. And we have the lovely Mel Parsons. Give her a round of applause. Aroha mai, Becky's a little bit mauiwi. She's a bit sick at the moment, so if she seems a bit grey, it's just because of that, eh? What have you got? A gastro or a cold? Or I was just backstage with you, and I was like, I performed with a gastro bug for Michael Hill at his golf club, and I had to hold everything in from bottom to top, because if I had to do this hour-long gig, and you just have to get through it. So, Thank you for coming today.
Yeah, kia ora.
Try not to shit your pants.
If I do, wouldn't that be a story? Is this on?
You got a mic?
Yeah.
I do. I guess what we want to get into is you are both from Westport. You grew up together. Can you tell me your story?
We went to high school together. I have a memory of Mel that she doesn't share with me, actually, I think. Because I brought it up to you recently and you're like, oh, real?
It might have been the weed. I don't know. The West Coast.
When we were out Tauranga Bay and, by the way, kia ora tātou. We were out Tauranga Bay with Brooke Wanoa, and me and Brooke had been surfing, and for some reason you came along later, I think, and we planned on, you had your guitar, you were singing beautifully. I was like, oh my God, if only I could sing. I wish I could sing. And then we decided that I would write lyrics for you, which I never actually did. But you don't need someone writing your lyrics.
Could have been a hit.
Wait, you didn't write the lyrics?
Probably not. I say I'm going to do things all the time.
Did you guys go to school together? And so you grew up basically together?
Yeah, we did. So Becky's from in Westport. Is there anyone here from Westport? Oh, yay! Oh, there's a few more. Awesome. So I'm from, Becky's from what we call out country. And so if you say out country in Westport, everyone knows where out country is.
Where is out country?
Waimangaroa, and you were also called the Dirty Country Kids.
Did you know about this?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And so Becky was out country and I was out Cape, which was the other way. So
Falwind.
So exactly. So I was at Tauranga Bay, Cape Falwind way, which is like, they're very close to Westport, and that's where we went to school. But if you say out country anywhere else, people are like, oh, sorry, what? Out in the country. But we know what we mean. Yeah.
Were you writers at school? Like, were you good at School C? Were you, School C English? And was that your passion at school? Like, what were your dreams as children from out country, taking your, whatever it is, spirit out to the world?
I loved English, and that was what I liked to do. I've got writing was my thing. And probably if I could sing, I wouldn't have bothered.
So music's another passion for you?
I love music, but don't ever try and you don't want to hear it.
Have you ever sung in public? Because my sister,
no.
She sings at all the weddings, and by God, do we let her? She's like Zambe, and we all just go, that's Marcia. She'll do it at every wedding and celebration, and it's like like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm such a bitch sister.
Yeah.
So you've never actually sung in
I
public?
sing with my mates in their garage. Like that's as far as it goes. And so long as there's lots of people singing with me,
Yeah.
But there's been occasions where everyone's gone quiet suddenly, and I'm like, oh shit, everyone just heard me. But yeah.
And is that part of, are you introverted? Are you a shy person growing up?
Depends sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just depends on the day or who I'm with.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And what about you for writing? Did you...
But you're going to say, am I shy?
No, you're not shy. She massaged me to sleep last night. Not that way. What
This
were you
whole
like?
session is going to be completely TMI, isn't it?
Yeah. What were you like as a kid? Was writing your passion?
I think not specifically. Like I liked. I was kind of into everything at school. The school that we went to was Bulla High School, which is a very small school. My mum was our science teacher. That's how small it was. Yeah, she really was. But no, I think that one of the...
And my son's science teacher.
Oh my God, amazing.
She's amazing.
Far out. But one of the cool things I feel like growing up there, I don't know if you found this, Bex, but because it was so small, you could do everything. Like you could do all the subjects, you kind of got a chance to do all the things and you got to play all the sports. Like I feel like we were in all the sports teams. Like we were in the first 15, weren't we?
I didn't.
You
do
didn't?
that.
Okay, maybe I'm thinking of Brooke. Anyway, but it was, when I say first 15, only 15, but it was a girls' rugby team,
Who were
right?
your opposition? Like Greymouth and Granity? Like, where would you
Actually,
play?
yeah.
Really?
Greymouth, yeah.
Did you ever get to play Christchurch? Like was that the big city?
No, I think we played Rangiora, and we got around.
Okay.
But no, so one of my favourite things about school and about growing up on the coast was that you just had time and space to kind of do everything. You know, like we played all the sports, and you could also be into music, and you could also, be into school, and it was kind of. It also felt like it was a little bit. And I don't mean this in a derogatory way, it might sound like that, but it was quite behind. Like it was, I feel like everything kind of got there like 10 years later than, the rest of the world. So I feel like, I don't know, even going out into the world, once I left when I was 18, going out into the world was kind of like, oh, wow, sushi. Wow, what's that? That's, I don't know if you had that experience.
Yeah, Westport was still like analogue for ages, eh?
Did that give you, your writers, and did that give you a lot of time and space to put your energy into your craft? Or was it when you moved to Auckland? Because I remember you moved to Auckland, that's when I first met you when you were 18?
Yeah, 20,
at a bongo party.
That's true.
It was
That's
a
actually
bongo
true.
party, and everyone was playing bongos and drums, and there was a lot of us.
Yeah.
Is that how it would have been for you girls growing up in Westport?
So I ended up starting writing over when I was living in Germany, actually. But I think the space, maybe the brain space it gives you in your early formative years, maybe is something that is quite precious nowadays. Like, and I don't think that it's really specific to Westport. Maybe it's actually just a thing that's changing with time. There's a lot more competing for our attention at the moment. So maybe we were lucky to have that space and that time. That's
Yeah, that's a good point. Actually, it was just TV1 and TV2, wasn't it? And I feel like the TV2 reception on the coast was like kind of borderline anyway.
Yeah.
So so I feel like both Becky and I grew up like right on the coast, like right at the beach, basically. And so for me, like, I don't know. I feel like it was kind of the best of all the worlds, really. It was like we were so lucky to grow up, and of course, you never appreciate it until you. So cliche, but you go away and you're like, oh God, I hate Westport. It's a shithole. It's of course, when you're young you do, but then you come back and you're like, oh my God, this place is like phenomenal, and it's so beautiful.
Well, let me rephrase that question. What do you think Westport put into your writing? How did it mould you as writers, as a author and as a songwriter? How did the energy of the area, was it cultural? Were there any Māori people there? like, was there a kapa haka group? Like, how do you... Because
So-
Owe's basic
Yeah.
Māori families.
So there's a lot of Māori people there. The thing is that the actual iwi Ngāti Waewae, there's not a lot of Ngāti Waewae people around Westport, so it's like we have our own little Westport iwi, or our own hapu, I guess, actually. Like a lot of Māori from different places all together, and it's not a lot actually. It's a really white place, but that also creates this precious little bubble with your Māori friends that is special. And like, for example, you know, when we have when there's a tangi or something there, and recently this happened, we don't have a marae there, and so a precious person passed away, and we just rally around and we make a rugby club rooms, we turn it into a marae, and we know all the people to reach out to get that done. Like, it's, yeah, you know, like, who's going to do this, and you just know how to do it together. So, you know, and I grew up with Māori sisters. My dad's Māori, but he's not. He's like he's one of those beautiful old school men that passes Pākehā, so thinks that that's, you know, like, I don't know how to word this, but like the world has already decided he's white. So, you know, that was. But because of my sisters being Māori, they were from my mum's first marriage, and so our whakapapa's different. But I would say because of them, I always felt like I was surrounded by that wairoa. And yeah, Westport's like every week you have a letter to the editor that's really racist. Yeah, I've had experiences that are like, people think that I look white, so they think they can say these outrageous things to me.
I think they've got a friend.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
like
like, oh yeah, you're one of us. I'm going to say this, and I'm just like, and I wrote about one of those things that was said because I worked at the newspaper. I actually like told the story of what this woman did to me, but
Your neighbour?
no, she was someone. I went
name?
into
Go
her
on.
shop.
Oh, okay. What was the shop called?
went into it.
I got to know next time I go there.
Well, I went into to buy some stationery.
Wet Cools?
No, there's only one.
Oh, wow.
And she said, oh, God, just moved back. And she was like, oh, so you've moved from Nelson? Oh, yeah, that's a good place. I know some people that lived there, and they were loving it until a band of Maoris moved in next door. And I was like, oh, cool, this is Westport, and I'd only just moved back. So it's like we have this beautiful side, and then because it's majority white, it's also got the ugly side that you find in the small town South Island communities and probably North Island communities. But
Do you use that as fuel for your writing?
Well, yeah, I guess I think it would be cheeky to say that because I'm very white passing. So my fuel is more about connection, I guess, and my personal history as a person. I don't try and pretend that I'm writing for the whole. Maybe there's a bit of fuel in there, but I think it's mostly, it's mostly stuff, personal, I guess.
Yeah, okay. So let's get on to actually writing. Mel, when you started, I remember meeting you, and I just released an album, and I was doing all my things, but I fell in love with your voice straight away. We became friends. My girlfriend was your friend's best friend, and but I remember thinking, because you had a partner at the time, you went over to Canada. Do you want to talk about any of that, or? Yeah, cool. Okay, so Mel left Auckland with her partner, Si, and then what I want to know is what happened to you and Si? How did that get you on the ground running because I noticed as soon as what happened, you went for it. It was like you were a different person. You had momentum. You were really, really confident, and you started this incredible career. So tell us about that.
Yeah, that's so. When the time, I guess there's sort of the before and after. And before I was, the time when I met you. So I was 20 when I moved to Auckland, and I was at university and studying music, and I was, I was always going to do music and make it my career. But I had lived a very charmed life. I had a wonderful childhood in a beautiful place, and I didn't know. I think I'd never had sort of any bad experiences, to be honest. I had just lived this, very kind of blinkered life, I think, and I was trying to become a musician. Well, I was becoming a musician, but I was sort of waiting to get signed, because at that time that was sort of the time of the major label kind of scene, and so I was just kicking around playing little gigs, and then my partner at the time and I went overseas to Canada, and we had a couple of years there, and we were in an accident a couple of years in a head-on collision in the highway, and he was killed in that accident, and so my world sort of stopped really as I knew it, and I came home, and I came home with this very, very singular drive to, just with this sudden eye-opening realisation, obvious tragedy, but it was such a catalyst for me to realise, it could be tomorrow. So we've got it, and it just made me, I just got into it, and I didn't have a label, and I had no support, and industry support, but I was just dogged that I was going to make a record, and that's what I did, and that was my sole focus. And to be honest, that's all of it I've done ever since. I've been very lucky that I've just continued with no backup plan. Yeah.
And that's what's so amazing about you, is because we have this parallel life where we both just release music, release work, tour, have many children. The whole through tragedy, because sometimes it does take a little wake-up call like that. And I've had times where I've been so down on my luck with just a bag of coins. But those moments where you're down on your luck make you go, okay, let's get to work. It's kind of almost exciting to be the underdog, right?
Yeah, and I feel like something about that experience for me was that until that happened, I kind of considered myself a very empathetic person, and that I had a good understanding of the world and humans and humanity. Yeah. And then I just had this first-hand, awful experience, but first-hand experience of the sort of tragedy and the sort of loss and the sort of pain that people feel all the time, and people are going through. Like I still now, this is, coming up 20 years on, I will still, see on the news feed, just like it'll be a tiny headline. It will say, one killed in gorge crash, and it's a tiny headline, and it's it's sort of a nothing story. It's a paragraph, and I read that and I go, because I know what there's each one of those is a world, and I think that really cracked it open for me, was just suddenly seeing what people are experiencing, and everyone has experienced loss or will experience loss, and I think that is the thing that, I don't know, it brings us together, isn't it?
It does, and it makes you fierce as well, and you don't take any crap. You just go, okay, I've got one life, and I'm running. Do you write from experience, Becky? Do you write from moments in your life that have been really, really instrumental to your personal life, hence writing Aupōuri, Kataraina?
Yeah, definitely write from the personal experience of having seen what violence does to families and to the people around me. I have a lot of people that I worry for and feel sad for quite a lot, and I think that is where a lot of my drive comes from. And the thing about loss and grief, I think, is it's a lot that you don't really move. Yeah, I mean, you move forward in a way, but grief stays with you, and it's very sort of, you don't get over particular losses, do you? And you don't have to, and there's no need to. And I know that there was been some loss in my family early on, and I know that it changed the landscape of our family forever. Like the ripple effect goes on today, and that's why there's no need to go, oh, we're over it now. It's okay to go, nah, this has changed us forever.
You never get over it.
Yeah.
And we're emotional people. We write. Our art is from us as sensitive, introverted, extroverted people. What's your formula is what I want to get into, especially with writing a novel, like 2 books. How do you sit there? Like, where's the discipline? I can't even sit still for 10 minutes. Right? I'm thinking about walking around right now. Like, how do you do it?
So I think the main thing is that you get to a point where the world that you've created is kind of its own thing, and it becomes more seductive than the real world. And it's like entering that space is like being on drugs.
Meditation?
Yeah, or meditation. Okay. Like being on really, really good, wholesome drugs. And I think when I started writing Kataraina, I was actually a little bit afraid of myself, because with writing Owe, I was so hyper-focused that the whole rest of the world kind of fell away. It wasn't that I completely avoided all my responsibilities or anything, but it did feel like I could borderline go that way a little bit. So it's less about, I would recommend discipline over that rather than being an addictive person.
Okay. So you have to be disciplined.
Well, it would be healthier. I'm not disciplined at all.
Well, what are you writing? What you wake up,
I guess in the beginning you have to be a little bit disciplined, but then you need to have something, you have to create something that has its natural pull towards you. Yeah, which is probably a creative process that most of us feel, where it's like, okay, I have to start out being a little bit disciplined, and then eventually it's going to have its own momentum, and won't need to. Yeah.
Do you get bored of your characters? Like, do you kill them off? You're just like, I'm so bored of you right now. You're dead. You are dead. You're gone.
Well, I did kill off a few characters.
Don't tell anyone, just in case they haven't read the book.
It's not about boredom. Yeah. Nah, it's the ice in the heart that they say that every writer has to have, is just a sliver of ice in your heart, and it's also about just, I don't know.
One thing I've realised about my writing, I write for kids, I write for adults, I write little snippets that I've emailed you and gone, do you like it? I feel like
we can't wait for Anika Moa's.
Yeah, no, I try my hardest, and you're my favourite author in all of Aotearoa, you and Kerry Hume. I stalked her. I drove to Ukarito with my best friend, put my CDs in her mailbox because she wasn't home. I knew exactly what house she had, and I was obsessed with her writing. I forgot my question. Let's move on to you. What's your formula for writing your music? You've written...
Panic usually.
Why the panic?
I don't know, maybe because we've got so many kids, and so the time is so short.
What about BC kids?
Oh, BC kids, yeah, that's a whole other world, isn't it?
Like, would you have more time to write?
Yes. Yeah. Tom, what did you do before then? I don't know what.
We slept in.
I remember thinking
we went out.
Do you know what I remember thinking? I remember thinking I was so busy. Oh, and we laughed.
Naive. So what's your process?
So usually normally I have to write to a project. So I'm not. I think in the early days, like when we were hanging out, at beach bonfires and playing party guitar and and those sorts of things.
And so forth.
I feel like my guitar was like an extension of my arm. Like I never went anywhere without it, you know. And the minute that I'd stop walking, I'd be sort of playing it and singing for anyone who would care to listen. But I was always writing, and it was terrible. And I'm so grateful that there was no social media at that time to record any of it. But nowadays, I think hopefully I have honed my writing process that I can get to the stuff that makes me feel something a lot faster, and I can tell if I'm onto a vein and whether I need to stay on that vein and kind of keep going. But yeah, I don't write without a deadline now because
Your writing is absolutely personal. You write about you, love, kids. Do you ever write songs, made-up songs about other people or scenarios, or is it there's just that's all you can do because that's all you know?
No, I think it's kind of little strands of things. So a lot of it is, my music is very, like anyone that knows me or that has been to a show or listened to a song, or no, they're quite personal lyrics, but it's not always completely autobiographical. Like there'll be a verse in there that's 100% true, and then there'll be something that I'll pull from somewhere else or something that I've seen, or so it's sort of a mix. And I think you have that. People have that thing. Is it fatal attribution theory, where because something comes out of someone's mouth, you believe that that's what they. Just because they're saying something, you believe that that's what they think, or that it's about them. So I think sometimes I have this thing where after a show, because a lot of my music is, and lyrical content can be quite heavy, and sometimes quite sad. And I have the odd person at a show come up to me and say, "Hey, are you okay?" And and I'm fine, in case anyone's wondering. But no, so it's a real mixture of inspiration. I think is a lot of it is my own experience and kind of lens on the world and feelings and things that I've seen. But there's always there's a mixture. There's fiction and there's also other people's experience. Yeah.
That's a great answer. What I was just thinking about what you were when you were talking. When you are writing, and this is what goes through my mind, is you start off and you're like, "Damn, this is good. Damn, I'm good," and then you wake up the next day and you're, "I'm shit. I'm the worst writer in the world." And then you wake up the next day and you're like, and you wake up the next day and you're like, "Oh, I finished it. Oh, I am good." Do you think that that's part of the process?
100.
Hey,
Absolutely, yeah.
because you wouldn't release it if you didn't believe in it, right?
Yeah. Remember that we're writing to deadlines here, Anika. So no.
I suppose so. Okay. What?
No, we wouldn't. We would not, would we, Mel?
No, no. That's right. Yeah, no.
Apart from the discipline, what do you think it takes to be a writer? What environment do you need to create to help you create?
I think reading is huge, like just basic. It's just standard.
Googling? Lots of Googling?
Yeah, you could do
I Google
that.
when I write.
Yeah. That's handy. But there was a pre-Google era that had quite a few good writers amongst them.
Touche.
I'm a bit like that. Like I get, I find listening to music, listening to music that I like, and also I find going to shows, going to gigs. Like I go to a lot of gigs. I love, obviously, obsessed with music. And so I will often come home from a gig, and I will, good or bad, or whatever I felt about it. Often it will spark something off in me that will just set me off on something, So I find, that's always a great way to get into it. But also reading,
And I love to chuck on a song like on repeat and just block out all the noise. Just chuck something on in my ears and just work with,
Like artists, when they're drawing, they listen to an album on repeat.
Yeah.
I'm the kind of writer where I write at my kitchen table, and I need RNZ radio on, I need the TV on. The kids are allowed to be around me because I need noise so I can go within, so I can find the taonga from my brain. I always need constant noise. Even when I sleep, I need music.
Force you inwards.
Yeah, but I've got ADHD, so I need millions and millions and millions of voices. When you were a younger writer, both of you, what were your dreams and ambitions, and where do you see yourself now? This is a three-pronged question. And what's your idea? This is what Warren Maxwell asked me in Rio Hall yesterday. What's your idea of success? Because let me thing the thing. You're both really successful. You're both admired and adored, and I love both your work. But what's your idea of success?
Yeah, it's a funny question. It's definitely changed. I mean, that's probably obvious, and I'm sure that happens for everyone in their lives. Like your idea of what you think is like right at the start when I was at high school and even after that when I was at music school, my ultimate goal was to get a job playing music on a cruise ship. So it never happened. I never achieved that dream. So and it's probably too late for me now, to be honest.
Do the lesbian ones. I'll do them with you. They're popular. They sell out quickly.
What's the criteria? Like,
You don't have to be gay.
Oh, phew! Right,
Just sing for the gays.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. And now?
I mean, it really has. It's totally changed. I think now, and then I guess, and once I started releasing records, I wanted to go as far as I could with everything. I wanted to have hits on the radio. I wanted to tour all around the world and play really big shows, and I think because that was that's what you see as what a successful artist does. I'd be watching Dire Straits videos and things. I'm just waiting for the judgment there. No, but that's good. Thank you, Featherston.
They're amazing.
Thank you. And so in the early days, it was very much that I think I wanted commercial success, I suppose. Without and in those early records as well, there was a couple of songs that I was produced. Like I had the idea of the production was like, I really want this to go on the radio to be a radio song, and so we produced them in mind. And those songs are my absolute least favourite now of all time. And so I'm a slow learner. I eventually worked out that what I really enjoy, my favourite thing in the world is connecting with people, and I'm very lucky that I get to connect with audiences through them coming and listening to me sing. So I feel like I think success for me is to be able to have an audience that continues to come out, and I just want to I love it. It's my favourite thing, and I hope that I can keep going with it.
Yeah, I like that. What about you?
I'd just like to repeat everything you just said.
There you go, copy paste.
Copy paste there. But I came to, me and my husband went to see Mel in Dusseldorf, was it?
Right, yeah.
Yeah. And I was just, I was so excited to see you and be there, and I was like, and I called you by your full name, we're going out for lunch with Mel Parsons. And then
I still do that too.
And we're both in Germany, and so we felt really fancy. We're from Westport, but we've made it.
Yeah. And Mel put a couch up she saved me and Tim and my brother-in-law and his girlfriend a seat up the front, like royalty. Treated us Westport out country kids like, well, I was the only out country kid. Dirty country kid. Royalty. Had the best night. Mel just stunned me, and I was like, and in the future, if I was to think that I would publish a book and be sitting on a couch up here talking to you wonderful people with Anika Moa and Mel Parsons, I'd be like, no, that's not going to happen. So that's kind of the same thing you're saying, Mel, about the connection thing is the richest part of some success, I guess. Sometimes I don't want to, and I feel like I want to avoid all the people in the whole world forever and ever. And then I come away from things like this, and you just like feel so lucky. Yeah.
I remember because I started with a bang, and I remember I was a really social person growing up, and as soon as attention was on me, I hated it, and I was quite a rude little bitch because I felt so intense pressure on me to be something that I'm not, or to have people grabbing at me, and I'm on the phone and someone starts touching me, and I'm not okay with that. But I learnt through the years that actually they were the people I was loving. They were the people that I wanted to know. But in the intense times of, people trying to stalk you and radio and people trying to out you as gay and all that kind of thing, you just want to push the world away, eh? You want to push them away. And now I want to bring everyone inside with me, and I want to have a kōrero every day. I wish I could do this every day and learn about our people, and especially people in Aotearoa. Which brings me to my next question. There's only one serious question, then I'm going to ask you some of your favourite things. And then we're going to open up to the crowd. So have you ever compared yourself to other people and to other songwriters and other writers? And what do you think about that?
God. I think it's a slippery slope.
Why?
Yeah. Well, because I don't know. It's not about that. I think some people have you hear people saying, "Oh, yeah, there's a certain amount of competition," but I don't know. I've never experienced it. I've always I think everyone's voice, written or sung, spoken, whatever, is different enough that for me it's only ever been community. Like I've never felt with other artists, even doing similar things to, in my genre or whatever, I've never felt that there's any comparison or competition. I just feel like it's community, and I feel like we're very lucky in this country that it's such a supportive one. Like we really get behind each other, and it's So I think the comparison thing is that's for other people to say and feel. For me, I just do my thing. I love other people's work, and I just feel really lucky to be a little part of it. Yeah.
There's lots of times where I'll read something and I'll be like, "Oh man, I wish I could do that." Or I'll read something and I'll be like, "Oh, I'm better than that." No.
So you do compare yourself. But that's a healthy thing, I think. I don't compare myself to other people, but I think it's healthy, and it eggs you on.
Yeah.
You go, I want to be
Yeah.
a bit better than this person.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try my hardest and learn more.
Yeah.
It probably helps with your writing. Like if there's something that you see or hear that you're like, oh, that's cool. Like not in a copying kind of a way, but just in a way that like, oh, I wonder how
the ideas that are sparked when you go to a gig.
100%. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But because I feel like there's just never there's no danger of, unless you're like a what do you call it? The not lookalikes, but the people who like
Doppelganger?
Tribute shows. Unless you're a tribute show, unless you're a tribute act, there's really no kind of danger of you, because it's your own voice. There's no danger of you kind of crossing over and copying or whatever. Yeah.
It's a compliment to copy anyway. With Kataraina, because I've read both books, the thing that I noticed how I felt when I read that book was it was so poetic, and I was so amazed by the words and the weaving of the words. So that's the book that I wish that I had written. What's the book that you wish you had written that has given you that moody?
Shit. Oh no. I'm feeling a little bit sick.
Shall we come back to you? We'll come back to you. Okay, Mel, what's the book that you wish you'd written?
Oh, the book that I wish I'd written? Oh, Jesus. Oh, far out. Yeah, it's really hard, isn't it, being put on the spot? There's a book, actually, that I went to did anyone come to Laz's thing in here this morning? I'm pretty sure it's a Norwegian book it's called Dinah's Book, and the author is, oh God, that's embarrassing. I can't tell you the author. But it's this amazing, no, it's called Dinah's Book. I think it's like Wasag something. Anyway. That would have been cool to write that, because I just remember it really well, and there's lots of stuff I don't remember. So I feel like if I do remember something, it must be really good, or I don't know, something.
Okay, did you think of a book?
No.
Okay, what's the song you wish you'd written? What's the song you wish you'd written? Because I wish that I'd written Crazy by Gnarls Barkley. I think that's one of the most brilliant pop.
You'd be so rich.
I would be here, would I? I'd be in a helicopter with Shania Twain. Crazy by Gnarls Barkley is just pop genius.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. What about you?
Oh, I've got heaps, but
No,
I will say, okay,
don't say my songs.
Radio. Okay.
Don't bring up mine.
My old man. I do love that whole album. Oh my God. So many. And the cliche thing would be to say something by Dire Straits, but I'll say something a little bit left field, which is, I think it's called Take a Picture by Filter.
Wake up my airplane.
Yeah.
Wake up my airplane.
Yeah.
My da-da-da.
Yeah, because it's such a strange song, because it's just like a chorus on top of a chorus on top of a, there's like about 8 different choruses. There's no song other than but they're just all choruses, and it's just like every single part is just full of hooks, and it's impossible, and I love it. And I think they played here last year, but
Did you go?
no, I didn't. It was in Auckland, and I live in Littleton, so I wasn't there. But also apparently that's their massive hit. But most of their other stuff's really metal. So like all these fans come to see this, like wake up my up, and they're apparently. Yeah. Anyway,
Okay.
wish I'd written that song.
I love that song because it reminds me of my youth. They released it in the early 2000s or late 90s.
I think so. Yeah. The music video is appalling. If you want to.
It's so bad.
It's great song.
Who's your favourite New Zealand author? Both.
I've got a song that I wish I had written.
Oh, okay. She's back in the game, guys.
Te Kore by, is it someone Grimm's? He's a Māori.
Diaz Grimm's?
Diaz Grimm's.
Yeah.
So Te Kore, I really love that song, and if I wrote that would mean that I could write in Te Reo Māori. So I love that song.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. Have you heard that song, Te Kore?
No, I don't do anything these days.
No.
I have to listen to bloody Minecraft and there's this one about a muffin. My whole Spotify is kids' music, so
ruin it, don't you? They absolutely
it.
ruin your credibility.
Baby shark, dude, and it just does my head in.
Agree.
Shane Carter's in the audience. Kia ora, Shane. Sorry to single you out. What's the song that you wish that you had written?
He didn't see that coming.
By John Lennon and the Beatles. Yeah, Across the Universe. That's a bloody good song. Fiona Apple does a really good version of that. What about you, Matt Heath? Matt Heath used to be in a band. What's that?
Oh, yeah. They're coming to New Zealand next month.
Yeah, I don't know if they're main guys in it though. Yeah, cool. That's nice.
Any other musos here that we?
Yeah. Anyone else? Who's your favourite author? You two.
Who's your Alain de Botton.
Ooh, maybe. Alan de Botton.
Yeah, Alain de Botton. I just bought one of his books down the road, and that's how the guy selling it to me pronounced it, and it made me question whether I've been pronouncing his name wrong all the time. So I'm a big fan of his. Consolations. Consolations from Philosophy is one of my favourite books.
Don't try and act brainy. Right, Shane, what's your favourite New Zealand
Terrible
author?
questions. I don't know you're supposed to answer these. I don't know who my favourite author is. Oh, Selena at the writers' thing last night, she said that one of her favourite writers was Spike Milligan. I love Spike Milligan. He's awesome. He was so big-hearted, and I don't know if he's necessarily my favourite author, but
you like
Spike
him.
Milligan. Come on.
Bad Jelly the Witch? Is that the guy?
Yeah, for instance, the Goon shows. That's comedy from 70 years ago or something, but it's still incredibly funny. It's really surrealist, and he was a genius, that guy. Yeah, love him.
Thanks, guys.
I might back him up there. William McGonagall, The Truth at Last by Spike Mulligan was one of the funniest books I ever read. I got kicked out of English class because I couldn't stop laughing reading it in reading time.
I'm going to read that. I'm going to buy that. Okay, back to the Wāhine. I love you. We are running out of time, so I'm going to open it up to the audience. And does anyone have any questions for these lovely ladies? Like
Is
us?
there a realistic way to go to get overseas audience, and how do you go about it?
For
writing or for songs?
For songs, yes, I think there is. Yes, I'll let you know when I find that. No, I mean I think it's probably like anything. There's a lot of and I think it's very in the music world anyway. It's very genre dependent and probably depends on what your I think genre is a big one. And
Do you go on Spotify?
am I on Spotify?
Yeah.
I am on Spotify. Yep.
Well, here,
And on Spotify, I've got a range of songs, and the ones that go best are reggae. And
Reggae.
My belief is that because reggae is a genre, and they can just go to reggae and say, play us all the reggae ones, and they say, oh, I like that one. Whereas if it's general pop, it could be anything. It's hard to pin down.
yeah, okay.
So maybe some more genres then is what we need.
Okay, more genres. Thank you for that question. And you've got a question here?
Kia ora, thank you for that lovely discussion. I'm Becky's publisher, Mel. I've met you before, and I actually first saw you at Simon Burt's lovely
Oh, that was a
house
long time
concert.
ago.
That was a long time ago,
time ago.
and you were just starting out, I remember. Anyway,
It's very,
lovely-
very young. Very young.
She was very young. Not that young, eh, Simon? How long? But it was. But I just wonder because the discussion about creativity and where it comes from is so interesting to me. So, with a song, do you that first thing when it comes to you? Is it a rhythm? Is it a phrase? Something that you've just nabbed in your head that you've seen, an observation, or something one says? Yeah, where does it come from?
Yeah, it's kind of a mixture of all of those things. Sometimes none of those things. Sometimes all of them. It's sort of I wish that I had a much more straightforward writing process, and I could go, okay, I'm just going to pop up and write a song now. But it's sort of I feel like it's the combo of first of all feeling inspired or in a good place to kind of channel whatever the thing is that we channel. But also I think for me a big part of it now is, and kind of going back to the discipline thing, is actually just showing up. And when I'm writing a record I have to be very disciplined because otherwise my house just gets really clean and I don't write any songs. So I have to just keep turning up, and it's not that you're waiting for inspiration, because I think if you wait then you're going to wait until you're dead kind of thing. But so you sort of have to create the right atmosphere, and then it's it could be a line that I'm driving and I'm like, oh, that's a weird thought or an interesting line.
I'm gonna step in here.
Please.
I disagree with the waiting thing. So everyone writes differently. I wait for music to come, and also I've adapted my writing. So it used to be sit down, start writing. The melody comes first, then the chords. Now that I've got kids, I actually write my music in my head while I'm cooking, while I'm cleaning, while I'm wiping bums. Because I actually have to utilise my time. I wrote my whole album in my head, and then as soon as I can get to my guitar after doing all my chores, then I can just fully write the whole song down. So I've adapted the way that I write, and
Yeah, kids definitely change the process, don't they? That's for sure. Your windows are a lot shorter, eh? Yeah. But yeah.
Any more questions before we? Oh wow. Okay. What about you with your hand up? There you go.
Hi, Becky. Could you just tell us a little bit about your most recent book and what the things are that were important to you to sort of, for us to understand about the book, or the things that you wanted to relay with that book?
Mm-hmm. Thank you. When I finished Aupōuri, it was a little bit of time after that I just needed to write some more about Auntie Cat. She was one of the main characters in Aupōuri, but she didn't have she was perceived rather than actually telling her story. So she was. I just wanted to give some more understanding to who she was and really tell a story around her and what was important to her. And yeah, leaving Aupōuri, I missed the characters, and in particular, I felt something for Auntie Cat, and I just wanted to write some more about her. And yeah, it's kind of about her. It's kind of her whole life, which goes back into her history, into her whakapapa, and also her love for the whenua. And it's kind of like at the moment where something happens at the end of Aupōuri, there's kind of like a curse has been lifted and something changes on the whenua as well. And it's goes around in a little bit of a circular way. So it might take a little bit more patience than Aupōuri required, that kind of propels you forward with the plot. And this one is more character driven, yeah. So good luck.
That's what I found. I had to have a lot of patience in the first maybe 20 pages because I'm impatient. But it deepens and thickens and enriches. So each page that you go through, you're just getting more and more enriched. We're going to take one more question, and then there you go.
So this one's for you, Mel. I saw you last year at Old St Paul's, and it was a wonderful a place for you to gig. You had a wonderful connection with the audience, and you were down home immediately, and the people all felt it. They really did. And you're here now, and then shortly you're going to be at the San Fran. They are very...
This is my promoter in the audience here.
Yeah, sure.
25th of May.
I did a toss-up. This or San Fran. Since I had one of these, it was going to be a really easy choice. They're quite different gig spaces, and you've got a very adaptable, pliable band that they arrange your music really, really well, with lots of space and clarity. But getting back to that, what gig space do you generally prefer performing in, and why?
Honestly, I don't know. I feel like anywhere that you can... I feel like I've played every single type of venue that there is. I've played in people's lounges, I've played in arenas, I've played in everything in between. So I don't know if I have a favourite. There's sort of different... Sometimes the smaller shows are harder and more terrifying because you can see the people, whereas the big ones, you're kind of like, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's sort of, it was just black, or you're just being blinded and there could be no one there. But no, I don't know. I think I enjoy them all in different ways. Like I've spent a lot of years on the road touring and performing in wool sheds, for example, and that's a whole other thing, and that's amazing in its own way. But I don't know. I think that I love it, and I'm kind of addicted to it probably, and so anywhere there's an audience, I'll love it. Yeah.
Like now. Please give it up for our beautiful writers, Becky and Mel. I feel honoured to be able to talk with you too, because I really, really do admire you both. And I want to be a writer like you, because I've done my songwriting, so you're my mentor from now on. Hope I don't have to pay.
Coming up to your house, babe.
Yep, you are. You are. Mel's going to be signing her beautiful new album, Sabotage, in the tent after this. And I think I have to sell them for you, eh?
Oh, no, I think they're actually at the merch desk
merch
there,
desk?
and they will
Okay.
do all that. And then,
And Mel...
You can sign them with me, though.
Nah.
Because you've sung on pretty much all my other records,
Yeah,
just
true.
not this one.
I would love it if you would play my favourite song of yours, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, cool. Yeah. And thank you very much for listening.